Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. And today we're just going to go dive right into it because it's already been talked about. It's already won like 82,000 awards. So we're talking about Anywhere, Every Time, All at Once. What is it called? Hold on, I wrote this down in my notes. Hold on.
This is great. This is great.
Actually,
but we're not introducing ourselves anymore.
Oh, I guess we could do that too, yeah. I mean, there's like a little caption at the bottom on each side, lets people know who we are.
I mean, okay.
But I'm Quinton.
I'm MJ. I guess it doesn't matter anymore, though.
Yeah, like who are we really, though? That's the question.
That question's way too deep.
Which is actually perfectly
the movie.
Yeah. Which I didn't even try to do that segue. That just happened to work out.
The movie though is called Anything, Anywhere, All at Once.
See, I was close. I was there. So it's confusing, but I honestly enjoyed it. Like, I liked it. Like, there were so many different, like, elements to it. I mean, some of it was kind of basic and they were just going for, you know, the wow factor or the shock value. But I liked that they did it quickly. So, when they introduced the Jubu from the beginning, who was played by,
Stephanie Hizu?
Yes, Stephanie Hizu. I think that's it.
I don't know. I didn't want to pronounce her last name because I didn't want to say it wrong, and then you did it on the spot. So I was like, oh, I gotta say it now.
Well, you know,
so
we're in this together.
Apologize if you pronounce any of these names incorrectly, by the way.
We're in this sinking battleship together. Okay? Oh God! But yeah, so her character is like as Joe, like I loved it. Like I loved the transition, and then the multiverse situation was different versions of them. I got a kick out of it. I enjoyed it.
It was great. I saw this movie now, like, I think 4 or 7 times. I saw it in theaters, and then I watched it again. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm the only one. Like, the first time I watched it, I was so just blown away by how it was made and how they did it that, like, I thought back on it, and I was like, wait, what was it actually really about besides being multiverses? So then I had to watch it a second time, and then after the second time, that's when I actually laughed and cried a lot, because I was like, oh my God, like...
It's a movie about a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of elements in the movie. There's suicide and suicide prevention. There's acceptance and love and, like, caring. Like, it's all those things that really... It takes different elements. And the only reason why I even watched it, I didn't want to watch it at first. The reason why I watched it is because the Oscars where Jamie Lee Curtis won, it's become a big uproar. I'm sure it's all over the place. And so I'm like, okay, let me see what all the fuss is about. And so I was watching the movie and looking at Jamie Lee Curtis and her character and that she won for Best Supporting Actress. I don't know why, because I don't think she should have gotten it. And especially considering who she's running against. Even though we didn't watch the Oscars, we just did the highlights. We're the worst gays ever. Like, gays are supposed, especially when we do movie reviews. I guess we should. But I didn't think she should have won it, honestly.
But
like,
no, not to change this on to like a whole Oscar thing. Like, oh, should she have or shouldn't she have? I agree. Like, so I do think she should have gotten an Oscar, and she deserves an Oscar. She's had one coming, but for the part she got it for, no, it should not have been for this movie for the part she played. That should have gone to, I agree, another actor. But going forward, yes, Jamie Lee is in this as Desiree Bureau. Is that really her name?
Deirdre. A.D.D. I think they called her A.D.D. or Deidre. Like, I saw her name on the bottom of the screen, like on her desk, I think it was. But I don't think they ever pronounced it. I think they just called her
She's
D.D.
the IRS agent.
Yeah. The tax collecting agent for the IRS. And... Again, it wasn't really a memorable performance, in my opinion. I'm sure I'll get dragged in the comments, but whatever, drag away. Hashtag drag. Save the drag queens. So, I'm getting hate for that too, whatever. But yeah, like, I think that her character didn't give enough to warrant winning an Oscar for Best Supporting at all. I don't think it was needed. I think, if anything, the dad and the dad played by James Hang or Hong, is it Hang? I've seen him in a few different movies before, but I think he definitely was a great supporting actor.
He was great. I mean, they were all great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, legit, every single person. This whole cast, in my opinion, was amazing. I loved them all. Joy Jubu Tupaki, she was my favorite. Just how fast she was able to do her transitions, like from being like, oh my God, to like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, I loved it. I loved so much of it.
The storyline was so good. It was so unexpected and original, at least, well, original-ish in a way. Because there was another kung fu movie that it reminded me so much of. It's a comedy kung fu movie. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, like there's the elements of comedy, the elements of sadness, the drama, the action scenes, like it
Like
had
I
a little
said,
of everything.
the second time I seen it, I laughed and I did cry. I was just like, oh my god, because it does hit you deep, especially those of us that do have issues. Trust me, it hit us hard. And then fucking Evelyn had to go and be like, it's because of Chewbacca. And I'm like, no, you're doing so good.
Honestly, my favorite part, so like I said, there will be spoilers, whatever, get over it. So one of my favorite parts was like, she was telling her about the multiverse, it was the Jubu, when she was like the evil form or whatever. And she's like, this was your grandma, and this, and then like, wait, you're mad about me being gay? Really?
Right, oh yeah, when
Like,
she's
no matter
like,
the
she's
universe.
like, she's like, hold up, you're still upset about me being gay in this film?
You did like, like, that's what you got out of that whole thing? Like nothing else, like that's what she got out of that whole
Did we
thing.
say that obviously Evelyn played by Michelle Yeoh? Is that how you say it?
Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, I think it's Yeoh.
Yao?
Yeah.
But yes, she was very talented. Do you know she doesn't even know like any kind of kung fu or karate or anything like that?
I'm not surprised.
Like, I mean, I thought she knew at least some by the way she was acting. I was like, wow, you really
Well, I
played
think
it
that's what the
off.
stunt doubles are for.
I don't think she did all. I don't think the stunt doubles did every single thing. I think she did do a few things.
There's fight choreographers and everything for that reason. So like,
Still, I was blown away. I was blown.
and I love they even make fun of themselves when we were talking about Scream and everything, how the movie itself makes fun of the movie, and they did the same thing with this one where it's like she even says it like the things where as an audience you're thinking where it's like, wait, what? That doesn't even make sense. How is that even a thing? Why is that like she like says it in a way where it's like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Why couldn't you just do this or whatever? And so I was like, it was perfect.
My favorite though is when she pisses herself and she's like, ha, great job.
Yeah.
I did love that.
Like,
And I do love how she, when at the beginning when she's like, everything or whatever on the bagel. How she does it, I love it so much.
bagel. Yeah, it was like it was so random. I was like, because I was wondering what your bagel references were. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Now.
And bagels are everything, no pun intended. I'm just saying.
too many carbs. Gotta stay away from the carbs.
You need it with the cream cheese, oh my god, and the salt, like she said, the poppy seed. Oh.
Anyway,
So good.
but yeah, so there was so much in this movie to unpack. And, how you interpret it, I feel like it doesn't matter what your interpret is. Like you're not wrong. Like it's up to everyone's interpretation, and it's beautiful. Like
I agree.
everyone's beautiful.
I loved how the way it was based, how it was based off of each choice you made. So
Yes.
like it wasn't just based off like like one thing would happen, okay, then that's not gonna happen. Like no, it was every single choice you made. So eventually, that every single little choice that you didn't make led to this whole new universe
Yeah.
where you have a totally different life, and that's what I thought was really cool how they did that.
The great thing about like so. Not to go dark, but it made me reconsider my past relationships. I was like, damn it, if I would have went left instead of right.
I feel you. I had a chance to get out, but I went back. I feel you.
Oh wait, shit, I did it too. Fuck.
Anyway, pinky powers, everything.
Facts.
Like, but
Legit
I'm not gonna lie,
facts.
I was a little disgusted when she was like, oh, and like her whole fucking muscle
just
popped
swallowed.
out. Yeah, I was just like, oh, no, not
It was
at all,
like
no.
Arnold Schwarzenegger pinky. I was like, you know what? I'm. It's gross, but I'm here for it.
I think
It's
I've only
like,
ever seen that actually like in cartoons too, like it's just something dumb like
I think
that.
Popeye did it or something, like when he get like the spinach and all the muscles get
Well, I mean, he
everywhere.
would do that in his arms, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's also movies too where they use their
Well,
fingers.
there's a part where he like goes down to his toes and his toes get big and like it comes back up and like swells his body or whatever.
No, that's right, that's true. I did like two also, so I'm not gonna lie, we are subtitle people. We love bearing silent, and I'm just gonna explain this quick.
First of all, don't want me in the, I get
This
stuck
motherfucker
with it.
uses subtitles.
I can't turn
all
them
the
off, and every time I
time.
turn them off, they come back on because you.
Because he's old and he knows he needs them.
First
But
of all.
anyway, I use them
Rude.
because I realize using them especially when you're watching a movie, you'll hear shit
There-
or you'll
yeah,
read
that is
stuff that
true.
you didn't even realize that they were saying because you couldn't hear it over the music or
Yeah.
over something else happening.
I watched one of my 80s movies that I'm a huge fan of, and then I was like, wait, when does that get said? And it was like, oh shit.
You
At
just
that
can't
point,
hear it.
I
So
do. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So at least when it comes to movies, yes,
Yeah.
subtitles all the time. But
And
like
honestly,
I was
when
saying,
I'm watching a movie at like 2, 4 in the morning, I don't want to wake you. Like the subtitles do
what a
come in
great
handy.
guy. What a good
But-
roommate this guy is.
No, we could never mind.
Shut up.
Finish your.
But no, like I was saying though, I like how the reason we use subtitles, I forget why I even got on that subject. Anyway though, I like how they use their native tongue and they put the subtitles for us to read.
That was pissing me off.
But that's okay, that's why I got back on it though.
Yeah.
Then I hated it though, because like I said, for us that use subtitles for using the movie, it was annoying because we'd have literally the English subtitles being like, oh, speaking the language, and then it would be them actually speaking it, and then us not being able to see what it says.
Yeah, and also shout out to Hulu. Ding. So it'll be there. Shout out to Hulu for their closed caption is actually really good, and it was actually very well done. Like I know this is like a completely random thing, but like he said, we will use subtitles and closed caption a lot when we watch things, and I've seen a lot of them, and I understand how difficult it can be to do that, and they're on point and they're accurate to where you like the muffles and indistinct sounds and everything. Like they're better than other streaming services subtitles, so I absolutely love that. The only thing I hated was when they had the actual movie subtitles in it and then the overlay from the Hulu. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so yeah, that is kind of annoying, but
That was not fun at all.
and Mr. Oh, it'll end soon. Don't worry about it. It'll be taken care of. Yeah, it was the whole fucking movie. I already warned them there'd be spoilers. Yeah, it's in the whole fucking movie when they're doing Mandarin / Cantonese. It's like throughout the whole thing. It's like, ugh.
One thing I did notice my now fourth time watching it around when I was watching it when he was I didn't realize they can knock the jump out of each other.
Yeah, which that kind of confused me a little
Like
bit.
I was like, and then like, cause I remember like the other times I watched it, I was just like, oh wait, okay, they just for some reason forgot, and then like they actually even say it in the movie, like, oh, you got the jump knocked out of you, like
Yeah.
look for it again, or you have to wait however long before it can reset and you can go back and do it.
And that was the thing that I would think was kind of too convoluted on the movie was the too many rules part. Like it was very confused. Like if you go back in this time in this very universe, if you jump too many times, you'll die. But there's an almighty Jubu who can do it and survive and see it. Like
well,
all
that's the
at
whole
once.
thing.
It was
The whole
like,
thing is like
wait,
apparently
what?
if you do that you're not supposed to survive.
Yeah.
And so, but so for some reason, Jubo. God, now you're making me say the name wrong. I'm just gonna call her.
Well, hell, she called her Chewbacca or Chewbacca Chewie. That's why I said Evelyn, played by Michelle Yeoh. She is amazing. Like
She said her name wrong every single time until the fucking ending.
But that goes to what we're talking about with the closed caption subtitles too.
Jobu Chewbacca.
Because I was just listening
Jubu
to
Chewbacca.
it.
I don't know, yeah.
I was trying to ignore some of it, and I was just trying to watch the movie and actually listen to it like you do with a regular movie. But if it wasn't for the closed caption that we have turned on, I would not have seen some of the things. She was like Jibu Chewaki and Jobodiah, and it's like I was like, what? Like, what's the actual name again? I was like, okay.
Did you have a favorite jump they went to?
I think her when she was an actress. Her actress thing, I don't know why, but for some reason I liked the way it did because it reminded me of so many different movies. The Whitney Houston Bodyguard movie, it reminded me of a few others, and she was a badass that pretended to do kung fu, but then she actually used those skills and translated them and learned it, so it tied back into the kung fu thing. And I was like, wait, is this the actress version or the kung fu master version, or are they the same? And then when she was wearing the, it's not a gi, not a kimono, the sensei, the gray, the silver sensei master outfit, I'm not sure what it's called. Correct, put it in the comments. When she was wearing that with the silver hair, and I was like, wait, so she's the kung fu master that's teaching the actress to do the kung fu? I was like,
well, no, the kung fu master is a totally different person, totally different actor.
well, they started interacting because kung fu person was also at the movie premiere.
Yeah, I know.
She watched.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That was her master, like legit.
Right, but it was also her.
No.
Yeah, because it showed
They're
her
not
like
the
so
same
when they
person.
do the you have to watch it again. So when they do
Because they
close
show
up, it is to
her
her.
sitting next to her. They're not the same person. Because she even
Yeah.
pulls her away saying, you don't have time for this.
Yeah, like, well, she pulled her away because she was also the same person that pulled her away too. But like, it was a thing because she appears a couple times and she does like a little.
She has
she
white
talks to
hair,
herself.
right? Or silver?
It was like gray, silver, white hair. Yeah, it was like pulled back in the ponytail. But so I would say that would probably be my favorite universe or multiverse that she had was the actress part. Words, they escape me. What about you?
My favorite jump was the hibachi.
Oh,
When she's the chef.
so the guy from Glee.
With the raccoon.
Yeah,
I was like, you say Raccoonie or whatever, Raccoonies, and because you mean Ratatouille, and then even they say in the movie, do you mean Ratatouille? And she's like, no!
Raccoon, the raccoon. I was like, that is good. Like I said, it makes fun of itself as well. So I was like, that's hilarious. But yeah, like the Raccoonie, which the chef is from Glee. It's Harold Sherry Jr. or Sherry Harold Jr. Something like that. So he's cute, by the way. He's adorable.
Well, did you have a jump that you hated? Mine is the hot dog fingers. I hated that whole thing. It was just really gross to me. I did not like it. I understand it was supposed to be funny and no.
It was weird, but
I didn't like it.
It didn't make sense with the rest of them because the rest of them, they're normal people within this universe.
Well,
allegedly,
they even say it too though in the movie because
really?
they're like, where is she? And they're like, we don't even know. She's off the map.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like,
she's
she's
not,
in a universe with the hot dog. Like, they find
she's
her.
not
like,
somewhere. I want to say, in my opinion, she's somewhere where that shouldn't honestly exist.
Yeah, because they even
jumped
so much.
Because they were even like, wait, they have hot dog cans, so they were even confused. So that's why they did the whole prehistoric type thing.
Well, I think that's what kind of makes it funny when it makes fun of itself in that way. It's like, we're just gonna throw this in here, and like even the actors that are in the jump monitoring world, they're like, what, like how, like why are you even in there? Like they have sausage fingers for hands. Like it's crazy.
I didn't like it. It was gross.
Which actually makes it kind of funny about it. And I do love the little nod to the LGBTQ plus IA alphabet soup community. Like every universe, every jump, there was a gay lesbian or a lesbian within everyone. So Sasha's fingers, her and Jamie Lee Curtis's character have a thing. They have a fling, and the evil part, because like I said, her daughter is pretty much gay in every universe as well. So I was like, you know what, I nod to that. That was actually cute. Well, yeah. It's like a little subtle thing, but like, and that's why I said like it has so many different variances of what you believe or interpret the movie as, like the acceptance part, and then the love part, and then like stop trying to fight love kind of thing, because she's trying to divorce her husband in one of the universes, Wayman.
No, he's trying to divorce her in both of them, in all of them. He's the one.
Well, one, they're not even together.
Yeah, that's what she left way beginning.
Well, no, the actress one, like they're not together.
Yeah, she left the beginning.
Yeah. And then like he's like, oh, we could have done something because they talk about the daughter and everything, how she's trying to save her and find her, and he's like, oh yeah, well that's funny, daughter. We don't have one, blah blah blah, but we could have. And he goes, and in that interpretation, it talks about like no matter how much you try to fight it, you come back to your true love. Like you always come like every universe he was there, even when she was an actress and they like went complete separate ways. He comes to her premiere and like they hit off in the alley. Alleys are great, I'm telling you.
Naughty, unless you're in Scream.
I mean, you can still have fun in an alley, even in Scream. You'll die after, but
dun.
So the true love aspect of it, the acceptance aspect of every universe, the blind trust in every universe as well. And as you can tell, as I'm geeking through this, not just because I'm drunk, but also because of the fact that I really enjoyed the storytelling. It's from a person that shoots and as a filmmaker myself, like I absolutely enjoyed it 100%.
True. So I was just thinking about this because we were talking about it, and I say they never left the IRS, and he says that they did leave, but they didn't. And they say they didn't because the main people that were following, she's jumping everywhere.
Correct.
One of those places she jumped to was instead of fighting, they went down the elevator and went home. So when we're seeing that end movie with them fighting, that's still that other universe that she's in. So that means that means that they never left the IRS.
They didn't leave the IRS for the majority of the movie.
For the entire thing.
No, but
it's not until the very, very end.
Because well, that's the thing. Because there's so many universes happening at the same time, then they literally melt together. That because the party that happens is supposed to for Granddad's party at the laundromat. It's supposed to be part of the same universe where she went to the IRS.
No, it is. It is still. No,
Yeah,
it's not Start of the Penguin. It's still because, like he said, because remember they were like, where is she? And they're like, oh, she went to a sub universe. And then he was like, oh, she went to do her taxes, that was the whole thing. After the IRS.
Oh, and that's what I'm saying because she had to.
And that's when the party takes place. Is that same universe right there? So that's a totally different universe in itself.
Yeah, because like when she has some because the fight scene and everything starts at the IRS office and like all the fight and all stuff, but then then it goes, and that's why I say it goes into like the party universe because after the fight scene and everything else.
But it goes all the way back. It goes all the way back to the fight scene, because then the tornado, because then the bagel comes through. So they still never left the IRS.
I know that's something. But after the whole bagel thing and everything, they pulled through. Like they leave there. Well, at least we'll never go
We don't
back
know
to
if they
it.
have the party. That's the whole thing
Yeah.
because they were still at the IRS because of the whole
Well,
bagel scene. Like the bagel
well, it's
thing.
assumed that
the
they
bagel
left.
the bagel thing ends and like that's all we know is like oh she stopped her from killing herself and now they both have to deal with it. That's all we know.
Yeah.
And then it just brought us to the universe where if she didn't do all that, because now she's connected to that, so that's the
Yeah.
universe to where if she didn't. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, by the way, this movie is horrible with people with ADD, let me tell you, because it keeps you engaged. Well, then there's also the parts that you always fall asleep on, too, that you also miss, which I'm pretty sure.
No, like
they,
I said, when I saw it in theaters the first few times, I did pay attention to everything.
You literally said you, like, started falling asleep at the same part even in the theaters.
Yeah, that was the first time I watched it. Because it was so much talking.
Because they were explaining things. That's why I'm like, I'm pretty sure that
like, just show me.
show me action. But yeah, like there's a whole like moment in time where I'm 100% certain that they leave the IRS and then go back and everything. But the fight scenes, I will say,
They were amazing in my opinion.
yeah, the fight scenes are really like because I mean it's a comedy, so you're gonna love it and it's gonna be outrageous anyway. But I think one of the things I even wrote down in my notes here is like, oh, the fight scene. It reminded me of Kill Bill and Kingsman. Because he has an exploding head and he like shoots confetti. It reminds me of the fireworks in Kingsman, where like the multicolored rainbow blood comes out. Like that part was great. And then like the Kill Bill part of it is when she's like, when he starts sending like random like jumpers to try to get her, and the one with the fucking dog, as the like
When she's like, oh, big nose.
Yeah, right. And like she kicks his like sorry about this. It's like
Johnny, poor Johnny.
I love every second of it. I've always wanted to do that to an
I love
animal.
when she's all like,
I can't.
oh, you animal. It's like she's literally, oh god.
That was amazing. And I like that they didn't pull back or hold any punches from the like even though it's like and actually the last few movies that we've seen that
No more
had a lot of
googly eyes.
the third, and that was another reference to the third eye references. I was like, I love that you got to see your inner self from your third eye. Like,
Oh yeah,
I
when
love
they throw
that
it like
reference
that's
and
like
everything.
the third or how the was it with the bullets? The bullets.
Oh,
turn
yeah,
to the
the
googly
toad, yeah.
eyes. And like how she got them all in the forehead. From
Yep.
like-
And that was a part that kind of reminded me of the Matrix, like when he has his whole bullet scene where
Yeah,
he
he's
stops
like,
the bullet.
"Stop."
And, yeah. So like there were so many references to like their fight scenes, even Expendables, even like when Wayman's
I know, I,
character is like
I always want
super
to say Raymond too.
I know, I was
that's
like, I
not
gotta
his
catch
name,
myself.
and it's not them saying it wrong. His name's literally Wayman.
strong. Oh Wayman, how are you Wayman?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's literally a line in the movie.
Do you have a favorite bagel?
I don't like bagels.
Like none.
I like the cream cheeses more than the bagels. If I do have a bagel, I get a plain bagel, but it's the cream cheese. It's like I like the caramel or butter pecan cream cheese is really good. Strawberry's good.
I just get regular cream cheese, a good old butter.
No, yeah,
And
no, I'm not a
I
bagel.
love all the bagels. Oh god, bagels.
Yeah, I'll have some bagels or whatever's available or near me if I'm like slightly intoxicated or a little high. But for the most part, I'm not a bagel person at all.
What would you rate this movie?
Oh, it's definitely a ding for me. Ding, 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 ding.
That's a lot of ding I think.
I've done this one. Oh no, you're editing this one, so we already talked about
you
this.
said I
yeah.
was doing Scream.
Yeah, you're gonna do the other ones too.
Nope.
Yeah,
But
you'll learn
it's
sooner or later.
a ding ding ding.
So you're a ding ding dinger.
Ding.
Ding ding.
That's a lot of dings, oh my god.
There's a lot of dings you're gonna have to put into this.
I'm just gonna cut them all out and say it was a bang.
Not have a graphic for bang. It's gonna go right there. Bang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah. So that's what we're re-rated a ding. It's definitely a go see. It's on Hulu. Shout out to Hulu. And you can watch it whenever you feel.
It's
your
also
fancy.
on Paramount Plus as well. I saw that earlier.
Yeah, shout out to Paramount Plus and Hulu.
Ooh, we should do Paranormal Activity.
Which one?
That's the great question. There's so many.
Yeah, they were all bad.
So we can either do a marathon of them, and like review each one, or we can just do what we did with Scream and watch them all, and then just review the most recent.
Let's do Hunger Games instead. I actually enjoyed that one.
I mean, only because I love saying a volunteer's tribute.
May the odds. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I've been Quinton. He's been MJ.
I'm MJ. Have a great day, night, morning,
All the fun things that you do when your eyes are open.
New Year.